be educated, but I'm so frustrated.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Mindset channel. All right, we've jumped into a new year and a lot of things are going on right now. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm just sitting here thinking, we're going to do a video tonight on Karen Carpenter, but I was just sitting and thinking, we talked about her from time to time and listen to songs because she's a great person. She's a great woman, a great singer and stuff like that. And we always talk about her in past tense. And I always wonder, I was thinking like, what would life have been for her if she was still here today? I mean, she was born in 1950 and she passed away in 1983. That's like 42 years since her passing. A lot of things have happened in history. A lot of events have taken place that she was never there to see. But in an alternate reality, we could take a look at possibly some of the things she would have faced and how she would have handled them. And that's what me and Mr. V-Man are going to do tonight. And I want you to go with us into this alternate reality. We're doing a couple of videos in a series called What If? Like, what if she had never passed away? What would have taken place? What would her life have been like? And that's what we're going to look at. Stay to the end and we'll see you on the other side.
Imagine a world where the legends we lost too soon were still with us, where their voices continue to echo through our lives, shaping our music, culture, and dreams. In these pieces we call What Ifs, we dive into the alternate realities of iconic artists who left us at a time when they were just getting started. It's not just about fantasy, it's about celebrating their genius by asking, what more could they have given to the world if they were still here? Today, we're talking about a world where Karen Carpenter, the voice of an entire generation, had never left us. What if Karen Carpenter hadn't died? I mean, let's say she overcame her illness, and what if she had lived to experience the evolution of her voice, her career, and her life? Let's dive into a reality where Karen Carpenter is 75 years old, and still with us today in 2025, and she is not just an iconic figure in music, but has also, all these years, been a beloved public figure shaping the cultural and social landscape for decades. Let's think about it. By the time the 1990s came around, the conversation around eating disorders was starting to evolve, and Karen could have used her platform to bring greater attention to issues of mental health, eating disorders, and self-esteem. She could have become a spokesperson for charitable organizations, starting her own foundation, and even touring with speaking engagements in schools or for young women's groups. Perhaps she would have even taken part in fundraising events, using her celebrity to help raise millions for causes close to her heart. By the early 2000s, the world would have seen Karen's music and influence grow even more than we now know. Imagine along the way, her winning more Grammy Awards in the decades following the infamous 1983 date, because she would have won them. Let's dream that she had been sick, but overcame the maladies to carry on. The Carpenters' legacy would have finished the 80s and exploded into the 90s and beyond, and as the world rediscovered their music and Karen's signature sound along the way, their reputation as a duo would still be resonating inside the latest trends in music, just as people like Paul McCartney and the Rolling Stones. As nostalgia grew for the smooth, soulful ballads of the 70s, Karen might have received multiple Grammy nods for albums where she updated the Carpenters' classics or recorded new material. A Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award would have been a no-brainer, and she could have even created an entire new chapter of Carpenters' music, having worked with top producers like Quincy Jones or David Foster to create groundbreaking work in the 80s and 90s. Now, after her highly publicized divorce from Tom Burris, one of the most interesting aspects of Karen's possible future would be her personal journey. Karen was very private about many aspects of her personal life, and her relationship with her brother Richard was very much the core of her existence. But what if Karen had found love again? Could she have had children and settled into a new fulfilling life beyond her music career? Imagine Karen marrying someone outside the music industry, perhaps a businessman or a fellow artist who allowed her to have the personal happiness she craved. In the 1990s and beyond, reality TV was gaining traction, and it's easy to picture a show like The Carpenters, Life Beyond the Music, that explored her life with her new partner and children, and the fascinating dynamics of a family that had grown up in the shadow of pop music royalty. So, imagine her branching out into the world of television and doing the things we've seen other artists do, where she could have become a true household name. Karen could also have had her own talk show in the 1990s, something like The Karen Carpenter Show. It would have been a laid-back and sophisticated hour where Karen would interview top stars, discuss her personal journey, and even feature musical performances. Maybe even a Finding Love show in the early 2000s, The Bachelor style, but with a twist. Would Karen have been the contestant? Or would she have hosted a show helping others find love, sharing her own story of redemption and personal growth? Fast forward to the 2000s, and Karen's influence could have stretched far beyond the music industry. She was always poised, graceful, and the camera loved her. It would have been a perfect fit for her gentle charm and relatable personality, and given her background in music, it would have attracted some of the biggest names in entertainment. Karen could have brought her soothing, down-to-earth nature to national television, dominating the airwaves in a time when talk shows were king. And she definitely would have also been asked to take part in musical talent shows, perhaps as a judge on something like American Idol, where she would have been known for her insight into voice quality, emotional delivery, and overall artistry. Think of the impact of Simon Cowell's sharp critiques mixed with Karen's nurturing, thoughtful approach. Now, with what we have seen over the years, can you imagine Karen taking the stage during one of the Super Bowl halftime shows, those performances with the world watching? Back then, those shows had started transforming into a cultural spectacle, and Karen would have been the perfect artist to bring a touch of elegance and sophistication to the event. Think of her performing a powerful medley of Carpenter's hits alongside today's stars, bridging the gap between generations and captivating audiences around the world. Super Bowl performances were becoming grand, and Karen's timeless voice would have been a perfect fit for such a show. Imagine, and you know she would have been asked, Karen collaborating with some of the biggest names of the late 20th and early 21st centuries. She could have made magic with her all-girl band. Or doing a duet album of powerhouse ballads with people like Barbra Streisand or Celine Dion, maybe. Or picture Karen getting a little more new school or funky, and getting in the studio with people like Adele or Toni Braxton, exploring a blend of the pop-soul genres that have flourished since the 90s. Richard Carpenter, her musical partner, might have expanded the Carpenters' sound beyond the traditional pop ballads of the 70s, incorporating influences from the 80s power ballads or even 90s R&B, creating music that could have resonated with the generations to come. Additionally, she may have entered the music production world, leveraging her unique perspective to help younger artists develop their own sound while also influencing future pop royalty. Think about how she could have guided stars like Kelly Clarkson or Shania Twain, helping them craft songs that captured deep emotion and timeless appeal. Had Karen survived, we would likely have seen an explosive Carpenters resurgence in the late 1990s and early 2000s, with a documentary or biopic dedicated to their story, similar to what we saw with Queen in Bohemian Rhapsody. This film could have explored her life and career, but it would also dive deeply into her personal struggles, making Karen's legacy one of courage, resilience, and reinvention. And you know this would have happened. Picture all those Carpenters reunion tours that would have taken place, like you see the old groups doing these days. That, with a possible greatest hits live album that included never-before-heard demos and acoustic versions of their iconic songs. The world would have been captivated by this comeback, and Richard would have shared insights into their music and the loss they experienced, emotionally connecting with the fans. And of course, it's possible that Karen's children, if she did have that family, might have followed in her footsteps. With Richard at the helm, they could have revived the family business, creating a new generation of Carpenters music with a modern twist. Imagine her children performing with Richard in special anniversary concerts, keeping the music alive for future fans. Perhaps Karen's legacy could have extended beyond just her voice. She could have become a symbol for the power of family, perseverance, and reinvention, a woman who struggled but never gave up. Karen Carpenter's story wouldn't have ended in 1983. In this alternate world where she lived, we would have seen her grow into an even more iconic figure than we ever could have imagined. From Grammy-winning albums, to television appearances, to a full-circle return to the stage, Karen's influence would have continued to echo across the music world. Her personal life would have unfolded in ways that gave her the peace and joy she had always sought, while her mental health advocacy could have changed the way the world viewed body image and mental wellness. Karen Carpenter was more than just a voice. She was a symbol of strength, beauty, and artistry. Imagine a world where she didn't leave us too soon. She's still here at 75, a world where her talent and legacy shape music and culture for years to come. That's a world we can only dream of, but what if? What do you think? How would Karen Carpenter's life have evolved if she were still with us today? All right, Mr. Mindset, it's back to you in reality with the Music Mindset audience to find out what they think.
Well, I think that's incredible, man. I mean, if you really love Karen and what she did, you should look at that type of stuff and say, you know what? A lot of things could have happened if she was still here with us today. If she was 74 years old today, getting ready to turn 75 in March, 75 years old. That's kind of like what she would have looked like in that video that we just looked at. And some of the things that we just talked about would have happened, most likely they would have. Remember, a lot has happened. And she would have seen a lot of things. The things that we've seen, she will never see. But if she was alive, she would have seen a lot of those things. And she would have had to face them and make some of the decisions in life that we've made for us who were alive when she was alive and are still here. We saw them, we faced them, and we lived in them. We're here today. Some of us are 50, 60, 70, 80 years old on up. We've seen a lot of things that she won't see. But I thought it was amazing. And so if you guys like this, I'm going to do some more videos called What Ifs. Different artists in the music industry, just taking a look at what if they were still here? What would we know about them that we will never know because they're not here? You understand what I'm saying? That alternate reality. Hope you guys appreciate that, man. Give me some comments and suggestions and tell me what you think about what we just did. I hope you liked it. I hope you appreciate it. I appreciate you. I'm Mr. Mindset. I'm going to see you in the next one. Check out the next What If on the Music Mindset channel.